mental with her look. She oftentimes seeks out unknown looks and designers, and we love it. Kylie Jenner, you've presented yourself in a very over-sexualized way from the time that you were 16 or 17. You're not a fashion girl. Just because you have $900 million or $1 billion at this point doesn't mean that we want to see you in couture, sis. We want to see you in the best that House of CB has to offer. We want to see you. Am I lying? Am I lying? Am I lying? No, I'm not lying. Honestly, because check this out. We love Mrs. Cephas, otherwise known as Miss Cardi B. And the reason why Cardi B was able to rock that Manfred Terry Mugler on her performance as well as on the red carpet is because she's always been experimental with her look from the start. Cardi gives you different looks. Her stylist, ever since she hooked up with Colin Carter, she has been unstoppable. Colin Carter is Cardi B's main stylist. And ever since she hooked up with him, she has truly been unfucking stoppable in terms of her looks. So, and honestly, if we're really going to call a spade, Cardi B really started giving y'all looks when she did that first photo shoot with Atiba Newsom. Now, if y'all don't know fashion, y'all not going to know who Atiba is, but go do your homework, okay, kids? Because I keep telling y'all, some of y'all think y'all are fashion niggas when really some of y'all are just jiggy niggas. Doesn't mean that you can't dress. It just means that you just don't know the fashion, okay? But yeah, that was my take on the whole thing. I just felt like that dress was wearing the fuck out of Beyonce. And I just wanted her to put her head in that sleeve thing. I don't know. It was just all too much for me. I actually preferred the suit that she wore to Michael B. Jordan's party, which I believe... I don't remember what was the label on that suit, but it was a white suit that had green jewels sewn into it, and it was a skirt with a matching blazer, which she did the blazer without a bra. She just kind of taped down her boobs. I thought she looked amazing there. I just thought that what she wore to Rock Nation was like a reach. Okay, so we talked about Valentine's Day. Let's get into this about the Valentines, okay? Young Northie West. Young Northie, at the unripened age of 5 years old, was gifted a Tiffany necklace by her quote-unquote boo. Now, if you're wondering who her boo is, it is Caden Mills. Now, Caden Mills is the son of rapper and producer Consequence. Now, most of you will remember Consequence from Love and Hip Hop. He is Consequence's son. Now, if you remember anything about him being on Love and Hip Hop, you remember that he was actually very nasty to his baby's moms, who happens to be Caden's mother. Caden is a family friend. And his parents chose to chronicle his gift giving for Valentine's Day through social media. The captions include, but are not limited to, which quite frankly, you can either color these cute or creepy, but let me give them to you. Caden is 8, by the way, 8 years old. Northie is 5. All right, let's get this together. 8 and 5. Now, I am no hypocrite. I remember being in kindergarten and having a little boyfriend that gave me a little Valentine's Day card and maybe a little candy necklace or a little Hershey kiss or something, or maybe like a Snicker in a cute package or something. But what wasn't happening is I wasn't coming home with a Tiffany's necklace from any nigga at 5 years old, okay? Because my mother would have promptly advised me to go and give it back, as well as had a stern yet very resourceful talk with his parents about how you are not going to over-ripen her young daughter. But at any rate, let me give you some of these social media captions. One of them included a caption of Caden and Northie in a picture, and the caption was "booed up." Another one was young Caden shopping for his gifts, saying "love is in the air." And last but not least, another one was "shout out to Northie. Baby girl, I'll see you soon." Cute or creepy, y'all? Cute or creepy? I found it to be extremely creepy. Now, I know that young Caden is not writing these captions. I also know, at least I don't believe that he's running his own social media at 8 years old. Now, I know a lot of you have kids. I do not have a kid. What I do have is 2 nieces, a nephew, and a young baby grandniece. Can you believe it? I'm someone's grand aunt, but whatever. And what I have to say is this. I think that there is nothing wrong with puppy love. Puppy love is adorable. Puppy love normally stays in the classroom. Puppy love is normally something that you'll see on torn out marbled paper, or a loose leaf paper that comes out of your binder, or something like that. It is not captured through social media. Now, my take on it is young Caden's parents want to, and again, fame is a hell of a drug. Young Caden's parents seem to want to be pushing him in the trajectory of being a little bit more adulted in terms of those captions and in terms of the situation than maybe need be necessary. I think it's very harmless for a 5 and an 8-year-old to hang out and maybe think each other is cute or whatever the case is. I do think it crosses the line of being harmless to being harmful when the captions say stuff like, boot up. Boot up, to me, if I connect that to the LMA song of Boot Up, it's too adult. It's too adult. Now, had they titled it and they call it Puppy Love, I would have been like, oh, that's cute. But you called it Boot Up. Okay? That's already pushing it into a trajectory that it is too adult for these adolescent people to be exploring. Okay? The fact that he brought North a Tiffany's necklace. Now, yes, North comes from a very well-off family. Both her mother and her father are both celebrities. But I don't think that means that North needs to experience adult-like situations just because they have money. I don't think it does. I mean, is it me? What do y'all think? I thought it was too much. I thought it was way too much. I think it's way too adult. I think that the parents need to shut this down. They need to shut it down sooner or later. And I also want to give prudence to the fact that shout out to Kim. Shout out to Kim for not giving North her own Instagram page. Shout out to Kim for not posting this on her Instagram page. Because say what you want about Kim, but I get the feeling that Kim is a very good mom. And it is very difficult for people to stand on the opposite end of being critiqued for their parenting. And I think that for me, it's very difficult to critique parenting, not just because I'm not a parent, but just because parenting is a very, it's a sensitive subject. It's a sensitive subject. And I think that no 2 kids, even if they're from the same household, should be parented alike. And maybe North is a little bit more mature than other 5-year-olds. But I still don't necessarily believe that that's a reason to push her in that trajectory. You know what I'm saying? So, Caden has his own page. Y'all can check it out yourself. I'm not sure what it's called, but a friend of mine actually sent me a screen cap of Caden with his arms around young North's neck, which I thought, again, too much. North is holding like a little unicorn, and she looks like a fucking 5-year-old. You know, I just thought it was too much. Speaking of too much, do you guys know who Justine Skye is? Now, if you're anything like me, you may not be too familiar with her music per se, but you may be familiar with her persona. Justine Skye is a Rock Nation artist who hails from Brooklyn. She is a beautiful girl, beautiful, beautiful. Now, if you know anything about her persona, you know that she runs with the Hailey Bieber, Kendall Jenner. She runs with that crew, you know, and she was dating the artist that you guys know. I want to say that his song is called Mambo something, Sheck West, who he is a rapper who hails from Harlem. Sheck West went on tour with Travis Scott, I believe. And y'all know his song, Come and young Shaq West a song. West Ali saw something, something, something. My name is Shaq West and I'm getting really, okay, I don't need to sing it because I don't even fucking know the words. But needless to say, it was revealed in the past that young Justine Skye, who released a single about her experience with domestic abuse, as well as a video, a music video, she did never want to really say who the person was who had physically assaulted her. She always kept that under wraps. And it was revealed this week that it was the artist Sheck West. So it turns out during Grammy week. Now, if you also know Justine Skye, you know that she is currently dating the rap artist Gold Link. Gold Link is an underground artist who's, I'm not really too familiar with his work so much. I think he was featured on an Insecure soundtrack. I think I've also heard of him on the Saint Haran compilation album from Solange, if I'm not mistaken. And he's worked with other artists that I know, Kaytranada, Kari, I want to say her name is Kari Flux, but I'm not sure. But she is currently dating the artist Gold Link. And she talked about how Sheck West not only stalked her, but stalked her boyfriend and ran up on her and her friends this week during the Grammy week. Now, she was able to, through very much painstaking work, file a domestic restraining order against Sheck West for domestic violence. And you know, I want to lift her up in prayer because domestic violence, having been a victim of or having been involved in domestic violence myself, I know that that is never easy. And young Justine Skye is, I want to say she might be 20 or 21 years old, and I believe Sheck West is 25. So they're both very young. And unfortunately, this seems to have put a dark cloud on both of their careers. Sheck West is denying having done any physical harm to Justine Skye. But what he can't deny is that videotape that she put out of him jumping her fence coming into her house. And also the text message that she sent to one of his friends asking them to come get him because he's wilding out. So shout out to Justine Skye. And I just wish that you guys would stop making victims have to pay for violence. And bigging up these domestic abusers. Sheck West, if you in fact did this to Justine Skye, you are a monster and you will never see a black ass penny from me. And that's for sure. Okay. And last but not least, I wanted to leave this for last because y'all, I'm not even clear on, I'm so confused about this Jussie Smollett story that I'm not even sure where to go anymore. It's giving me a headache. All this Jussie Smollett shit is giving me a fucking headache, okay? I don't know where to go. It is not up for me to play judge and jury to what happened to Jussie. I hate that from the very beginning, it seems as though the burden has been on Jussie to prove that this situation actually happened to him, and the burden hasn't been on finding the people who allegedly did this to him. Now, Jussie had an interview with Robin Roberts this week, and I didn't see the interview myself, but you know, my understanding is that we all saw the videotape of two dark figures walking away from what is allegedly the scene of the crime. And I thought that Jussie said that the people who had done this to him were white. Now, I guess that's not really true because they were masked. And so somehow, some way, the police said that they have found the two people that were in the video and that they were looking to speak to them, but then couldn't speak to them because they had to wait for them to come back to Nigeria, from Nigeria. And then when they did come back, the police apprehended them at the airport, brought them in for questioning, which led to them basically saying that they would cooperate with the police to prove that Jussie paid them off and made up this story if they could be let go. So the